to stay fly. My money was all spent, but I felt so alive. I was chasing down a dream, like you always taught me to. But the evergreens of caffeine still remind me of you. I'm coming home to the place I remember, to the land of my first love. Would you stay right here on for this wayward sun? I left my heart in Oregon.
Good morning, fellow Ducks and graduating class of 2025. It's a balmy 55 degrees. There's pollen in the air, but there's no rain because we all know it never rains in Autzen Stadium. You guys have done that before, too. My name is Jason Yonker. I am the Associate Vice President and Advisor to the President for Sovereignty and Government-to-Government Relations, and we're still figuring out this microphone. Most importantly, I am a double duck. It is my pleasure to share with you something you have heard throughout all of your classes and throughout all of the events here at the University of Oregon, and that is our land acknowledgement. While these words are insignificant, it's your actions after these words that are. We should all desire to become responsible stewards as the Kalapuya have before us. The University of Oregon is located on Kalapuya Ili, the traditional indigenous homeland of the Kalapuya people. Following treaties between 1851 and 1855, the Kalapuya were dispossessed of their indigenous homeland by the United States government and forcibly removed to the Coast Reservation in Western Oregon. Today, descendants of this are citizens of the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde Community of Oregon and the Confederated Tribes of the Siletz Indians of Oregon, and they continue to make important contributions in their communities, at the University of Oregon, and across the land we now call Oregon. We express our respect for all federally recognized tribal nations of Oregon. This includes the Burns Paiute tribe, the Confederated Tribes of the Coos, Lower Umpqua, and Siuslaw Indians, the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde Community, the Confederated Tribes of the Siletz Indians, the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation. They're out there somewhere, aren't they? The Confederated Tribes of the Warm Springs. Yeah, I knew. The Coquille Indian Tribe. The Cow Creek Band of Umpqua Tribe of Indians, and the Klamath Tribes. We also would like to express our respect for all other displaced indigenous peoples who now call Oregon home. Thank you, congratulations, and go Ducks!
Good morning, and welcome to the University of Oregon's 2025 commencement ceremony. My name is Chris Long, and I have the honor of serving as the Provost and Senior Vice President of the University of Oregon. I could not be happier to be here to celebrate you and your accomplishments today. And let me tell you, from where I sit, you all look amazing. For those who are able, please rise for the posting of the colors by the Army ROTC Color Guard and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem performed today by the University of Oregon Chamber Choir, directed by Sharon Paul.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets
Please be seated. Thank you, Sharon, and members of the UO Chamber Choir. That was wonderful. And thank you, Jason, for today's land acknowledgement. This ceremony is called commencement because it marks a beginning. As you step away from the familiar surroundings of our beautiful campus, you will begin to carve out a future that reflects your passions, values, and imagination. You have earned a degree from a world-class university, a degree rooted in the liberal arts. At the heart of a liberal arts education is the cultivation of intellectual, creative, and ethical habits that will enable you to live fulfilling lives. We hope that as you embark upon your new journey, you will remember how your experience here on the banks of the Willamette River has shaped the person you have become, and that you will return often to support the next generation of students. Before we celebrate your accomplishments, let us pause together here to reflect on the relationships and the people who helped bring you to this important day. And now, to deliver greetings and a message from the Board of Trustees of the University of Oregon is Vice Chair Marcia Aaron.
Good morning, and thank you, Chris. To our graduates, faculty, administrators, staff, alumni, family, and friends, welcome to the 148th commencement ceremony for the University of Oregon. It is an honor and a privilege to stand before you today, both as a graduate and as a trustee of this remarkable institution. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I extend our heartfelt congratulations to the class of 2025. Today is a celebration of your hard work, your perseverance, and your growth, not just as students, but as citizens of the world. Each of you arrived here with a story, some filled with certainty, others with questions. And over the years, you've written new chapters in classrooms and in labs, on stages and sports fields, through friendships and challenges. You've learned not just facts and formulas, but how to think critically, how to listen deeply, and how to lead with integrity. The world you are entering is complex. It is filled with both extraordinary promise and profound challenges. But I have faith in your generation. I have seen your creativity, your courage, and your compassion. And I believe you are exactly what the world needs right now. The world needs your ideas, your energy, and your voice. President Lincoln once said, "The best way to predict your future is to create it." Graduates, I urge you, don't wait for permission to become a leader in the world. Use what you have learned and lead by example. Never doubt your possibilities or your potential. Be proud of everything you've overcome, everything you've endured, and everything you have achieved. By remaining persistent and optimistic, you are victorious. It is commencement day. Soon you will be an official alumnus of the University of Oregon. You are now part of a legacy that stretches back nearly a century and a half. A legacy of excellence, of curiosity, and of impact. As the great American philosopher and writer Henry David Thoreau said, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you imagined." In this class, we have 4,053 bachelor degrees, 873 master's degrees, 176 doctoral degrees, and 144 law degrees. Our oldest graduate is 68. And our youngest is just 18. There are 4 of you out there that are triple majored. Today, we will add more than 5,000 ducks to the more than 270,000 University of Oregon alumni. As ducks, we are stronger together than apart. Please take advantage of the University of Oregon Alumni Association's networking and resources and engage in the chapters in our communities around the country and the world. You are now part of a mighty flock. Graduates, it is with immense pride and sincere congratulations on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the University of Oregon and by the power invested in us by the great state of Oregon that I authorize President Carl Schulz to confer upon you your hard-earned degrees. Go Ducks!
Thank you, Marcia, not just for your time this morning, but for your dedication and service to the University of Oregon. And now I'd like to introduce the 19th President of the University of Oregon, John Carl Schulz. President Schulz has dedicated his life to advancing public higher education, serving in numerous academic leadership roles, including Dean, Provost, Interim Chancellor at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and now President. I first met Carl 10 years ago when I joined the Big Ten Academic Alliance Dean's Council. He was then, as he is now, a thoughtful leader and a trusted partner. Please welcome President Schulz.
Good morning. What a beautiful sight it is in historic, spectacular, world-famous Autzen Stadium. I've been in higher education for a long time, but being on the podium during graduation and staring out over a group of fresh graduates and proud families never gets old. It is my honor as president to welcome you all and congratulate you on earning one of the most important credentials of your lives, a degree from the University of Oregon. As a proud parent of 3 college graduates, let me start by recognizing the vital role families play in getting you to this point. Graduates, please give a loud hoop and holler of thanks to family members and friends who supported you along the way. You're doing well whooping and hollering at 9 in the morning. Excellent. To parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends, and others with a college graduate here this morning, I am sure you are all experiencing quite a range of emotions as you see them dressed in their caps and gowns. These are not the same people you saw off to college. Their college experiences have shaped them intellectually, socially, and ethically. These years have not just been about earning a degree, but about becoming critical thinkers and compassionate citizens. Your graduates are ready to lead with integrity and courage in a world that deeply needs both. Celebrate with them. Now I turn to you, the class of 2025. You've reached an ending at the University of Oregon, and you're starting a new beginning. You're in a period of transition. Some of you will be attending graduate school or have internships. Others are starting jobs and careers. Some are moving home. Others may be moving to new cities where you don't know many people. This is all exciting. It may even generate a bit of uncertainty or fear. This is okay. Trust yourselves despite the feeling of the unknown. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It is taking actions despite it. Facing your fears can build resilience, confidence, and self-awareness. And that leads me to my first takeaway. I just mentioned it, but foster resilience in your life. It's not always rainbows and fairies. You've all experienced this already in your lives. But the more you incorporate a resilient life view when challenges and disappointments inevitably come, the better you will be. I'm reminded of a quote from the esteemed philosopher Ted Lasso. Taking on a challenge is a lot like riding a horse. If you're comfortable while doing it, you're probably doing it wrong. Don't let disappointment deter you. You may not get the job. You may be told no. This will never change. All this and more has happened to me many times. Look at these struggles as part of the journey instead of derailments. You are always on a path of discovery, and perhaps these twists and abrupt changes are actually the beginning of something much better. Earlier, I said your achievements are not just the result of individual effort, but of a community of support. This is in no way a knock at the incredibly hard work you all put in, the late nights you all spent at the library, I'm sure, and the investments in bettering yourselves. But my second point is this. Your relationships are immensely valuable. Cherish people. Nurture your connections. I promise there are people in the stadium right now who will be your friends for the rest of your life. A critical ingredient to a happy, fulfilling life is having strong relationships. Remember that you are the average of your 5 best friends, so hopefully you've chosen wisely. Now don't bring the average down. And that average is not measured in how many friends you have or your social media clout. It means showing up, expressing gratitude, and showing appreciation for those who you care about. Now that you are transitioning to the next part of your life, I hope you never lose your passion for learning. My third takeaway is to be a lifelong learner. Stay curious, continue to seek wisdom, understand yourself and the world around you. Your UO education has given you this crucial foundation. Here at the UO, we believe education can and should be a liberating force. It should cross barriers, challenge assumptions, sharpens one's sense of agency, and strengthen one's sense of belonging. Finally, what I hope for you is that you can each lead a good life, a life filled with exploration and authenticity. I hope you continue to strive, learn, and recognize your gifts, that you seek both professional and personal fulfillment. Grow, nurture your relationships, opportunities, and experiences. In doing so, you'll find your purpose, and I hope great joy and satisfaction. Stay true to your values and your purpose. Find your why. Let me leave you with this. You earned this. Be proud. And wherever you go from here, whatever path you take, you will always be part of the University of Oregon family. You have each officially earned new titles, UO alumnus. Congratulations and Ducks.
Thank you, President Schultz, for those inspiring words and for your service to the University of Oregon. I am now pleased to introduce the 2024-2025 President of the Associated Students of the University of Oregon, Mariam Hassan. Mariam has been an outstanding student body president over the last year, and it has been a true pleasure to work with her. I was moved listening to her talk to our Board of Trustees meeting earlier this month about how challenging it is to lead with integrity in our fractured times. I admire her ability to be vulnerable and honest in sharing her personal experience of the weight and responsibility that comes with leadership. Please join me in welcoming Mariam.
Let me find my speech. Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone and congratulations to the class of 2025. My name is Mariam Hassan, and I had the honor of serving as your student body president this year. Today is more than just a ceremony. It's a celebration of everything we've worked for and everything we've overcome. As we look back on our time at the University of Oregon, I hope you truly take a moment to feel proud of yourself. Because you are the heart and soul of this university, and today reflects your strength, your growth, and your resilience. For me, this journey didn't begin here in Oregon. It started back in 2013 when my life changed completely. That year, I boarded a plane with my mom, dad, and 2 brothers, leaving behind everything I had ever known back home in Egypt. Back home, my world didn't revolve around race or identity. It revolved around family. People who looked like me, spoke like me, and loved me. Identity wasn't something I had to think about, it just was. But all that shifted when I moved here. Suddenly, I was the only hijabi in the room, sometimes in the entire school. And without meaning to, I became the unofficial spokesperson for an entire community. And that's when I first learned what it meant to advocate. Not just for myself, but for others who shared my story and didn't always have the chance to speak. And I fell in love with it. I realized that if I could represent my people with truth and dignity, maybe I could help shift the narrative. Maybe I could challenge the stereotypes that follow us into classrooms, meetings, and conversations we were never invited into. Was it fair that I had to take this on? No. But I wanted to, because I felt confident in my identity as a Muslim woman. And I wanted to use that strength to uplift others who didn't always feel the same way. That's why when I got to the University of Oregon, I could actually imagine giving this speech one day. But what I couldn't have imagined was how hard it would be to stay grounded in my identity while serving as your student body president. When I decided to run, I was met with incredible support, but also with doubt, criticism, and a lot of unsolicited advice. Especially from people who didn't look like me, didn't come from where I came from, yet felt entitled enough to tell me how I should speak and how I should fight for my own people. And when the rumors started, the kind that spread fast and stick even faster, I learned that being a woman of color in leadership comes with a kind of visibility that doesn't always feel empowering. Oftentimes it felt exposing and isolating. But I learned something in those moments. When you stand your ground in who you are, even when it's unpopular, and even when the world tries to shape you into something more comfortable for them, that's where your power is. I didn't win despite those challenges. I won because I chose to not shrink. So to anyone here who's ever felt the need to shrink, the speaker agrees. So to anyone here who's felt the need to shrink, to fit in, to stay safe, or to be liked, you don't have to and you never did. What makes each and every single one of us powerful is that not any two stories in this stadium are the same. So don't let anyone else write your story because you will regret it. People will always have something to say, something to criticize, something they think you should change. But the truth is, you will never make everyone happy, and that's okay. What matters is that you know your heart, and that you don't let the noise make you forget. Because what sets us apart isn't just our degrees or our GPAs, it's our character and our integrity. And as we step into this next chapter, whether it's graduate school, a new job, or the unknown, trust yourself. Hold on to who you are. Because the world does not need more people who blend in. It needs more people who are brave enough to be themselves. And when I took this advice myself this year, that's when I fell in love with being your president and advocating on your behalf. And I am incredibly proud of the work my team and I were able to do and achieve this year. Now, it's impossible for me to stand here today and celebrate this moment without honoring my people in Gaza. My brothers and sisters who never got the chance to walk across a stage to graduate, or even attend school at all. What they have been going through is something that I could never even begin to imagine. I carry them with me in everything I do. I'm here because they can't be. They are the truest embodiment of resilience and strength, and every single day I strive to represent them with dignity in every single room I walk into, in every single conversation I'm a part of. Now for my last few moments up here, I want to recognize the two strongest pillars in my life. The reasons I'm standing here today, and the reason I was able to advocate on your behalf the way I did. My mama and baba. She's back there and waving at you. Throughout my entire life, it was always impossible for me to fall because they were always there to catch me. You guys have been my parents, my best friends, my teachers, my coaches, and my entire world. Mama and Baba, everything I do in my life is with the hope of making you proud. And I love you so much. You left behind everything you knew to give me opportunities I could never have dreamed of. And I carry that with me every day. And I only wish that one day I can give back even a fraction of what you've given me. And to my brothers, Muhammad and Omar, thank you for lifting me up when I needed it most, and for humbling me just as quickly when I needed that too. I love you both, and you are the best brothers I could have ever asked for. And to my future, Yusuf, thank you for being my loudest cheerleader, my calm in the chaos, and the one person who always believed in me louder than anyone who ever doubted me. No matter how tough things got for me this year, your voice always found a way to cut through the noise. And in a world of opinions, you are my peace, you're my hype man, and you're my heart. I don't know what I did in my life to deserve you, but I'm so incredibly lucky that I could walk through life with you. Now as I step off this stage, I'm reminded that this moment is so much bigger than a diploma or a title. We didn't just earn a degree, we held ourselves together through things no one saw. We showed up on days when it would have been easier not to. And we grew into people that our younger selves would be proud of. We are not the same people who started this journey. We are so much stronger. And as we move forward, we don't have all the answers. We just need to keep showing up with the kind of strength that got us here in the first place. So congratulations, class of 2025. This is only the beginning. Thank you. As we get ready to move our tassels, let's take a moment to look back at some of the memories that shaped our time here.
You did it. You finally did it. During your time here, you made new friends. You tried new experiences, and as you expanded your horizons and made your world bigger, you grew. You made your mark and created lifelong memories.
Oregon finds a way. They get it done. 24-14 is going to be the final.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you to my friends and family. Thank you, University of Oregon.
So, what's next? Because once a duck, always a duck. You are now part of something bigger. Wow!
Thank you, Mariam. It is now my pleasure to introduce our 2025 commencement speaker, Jana Schmading. She is an acclaimed writer, performer, comedian, and a fierce advocate for Native representation in media. A Lakota woman from the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe, Jana brings humor, heart, and a sharp cultural critique to everything she creates. From her breakout role and writing on the sitcom Rutherford Falls, to her role in the TV series Reservation Dogs, she is helping to redefine what Indigenous storytelling looks like on screen. But more than that, Jana is a teacher, a listener, and a truth teller. Someone who uses comedy as a bridge between worlds through the podcast she hosts, Sage-Based Wisdom and Woman of Size. Jana is also a native Oregonian who grew up in Canby. She came to the University of Oregon to major in theater arts and was an active member of the Native American Student Union and the Student Multicultural Center. After college, she moved to New York City to hone her comedy skills while teaching middle school and high school in the Bronx. Jana performed, directed, and collaborated on several improv, sketch, and solo comedy shows in New York City for 10 years before moving to Los Angeles. Please join me now in welcoming our fellow Duck alumna, Jana Schmading.
I need a stool. Thank you, Provost Long. Haumatakiapi, Jana Schmading, Amachiapi, Chante, Washte, Nape, Chiujapi. Hello, friends and relatives. My name is Jana Schmading, and I come to you today with a good heart. I greet you in English and in my native language, Lakota, the tribal nation in which I am enrolled. I know that a land acknowledgement has already been given, but it's important for me to acknowledge that we currently reside on the sacred homelands of Rennie's Landing and Burrito Boy. Who have been melting cheese for our traditional late-night endeavors in the region since time immemorial. To the Indigenous staff, faculty, students, and alumni here today, I raise a Pepsi to you. And to the entire graduating class of 2025, a massive congratulations on completing your studies here at the University of Oregon. Many of you are sitting here wondering who the heck I am, so allow me to introduce myself quickly. I'm a television actor, writer, and producer. You may have seen me starring opposite Ed Helms in Peacock's Rutherford Falls. Perhaps you know me as the bitchy IHS receptionist on FX's Reservation Dogs. I'm a comedian, a screenwriter, a community organizer, and a former educator. I've done voices on many animated shows like Spirit Rangers, The Great North, Bob's Burgers, and Avatar. I've sold scripts to major Hollywood studios, produced my own live performances, but the accomplishment I'm quite proud of is being part of a massive and long overdue Indigenous renaissance happening in the film and television industry right now. Most importantly, I grew up in the Willamette Valley to a family of public school teachers, so I identify as an Oregonian, and I am a duck. Class of 2005, baby! God, I graduated from the University of Oregon exactly 20 years ago. A theater arts major. Shout out any theater students here. Hey! I specialized in performance, and I was a student organizer with the ASUO Multicultural Center and the Native American Student Union. Shout out NASU. My interests here at this school included, but were not limited to, acting for Shakespeare, children's theater, cross-cultural coalition building, house party planning, grassroots student organizing, women's studies, spliff rolling, Native American lit, and trying to figure out how to score with anyone on the men's or women's basketball teams. You cheer, but that one never really panned out. After graduating in 2005, I moved immediately to New York City to pursue my dream of performing on Broadway. But after realizing that I wouldn't be able to sustain pursuing my dreams without a living wage and health insurance, I decided to get my graduate degree in education and to pursue the family trade, classroom teaching. Shout out teachers! For 10 years, I taught humanities to middle and high schoolers in the Bronx, where I eventually moved. Mine and my students' neighborhood was one of the poorest congressional school districts in the nation at the time. And my students faced some of the harshest adversities a young person in the U.S. might face. Under-resourced public schools are one of the greatest injustices of our culture, and teaching in that environment was hard. It was harder than, I don't know, trying to score with someone on the Duck basketball teams. No other job I've had was as taxing on the mind and the spirit as was my teaching job. My beat was the following. I woke up at 5:30 a.m. each day, drank a minimum of 4 cups of bodega coffee, taught until 4 p.m., then most weeknights and all weekend, I would take the train to Midtown Manhattan for improv or sketch comedy classes. Eventually, those classes turned into performances, shows. Then those led me to teaching those classes and coaching improv teams and directing sketch comedy shows, which ultimately turned into writing and touring my own solo performances. And by the end of my time in New York City, my teacher friends were regular audience members at my comedy shows, and my students began to inquire why I was their teacher and not a full-time actor. It's not like that, I would tell them. As a business, breaking in is nearly impossible. So I keep acting and writing as my hobby. I do it for joy, for fun. By the end of my teaching tenure, my burnt-out school colleagues would ask, how do you have energy to come and teach after doing a live sketch show until 11 p.m. at night? And my answer always boiled down to joy. Comedy doesn't take energy from me, I would tell them. It gives me the energy I need to come back to this very hard job each day. When I found myself using my prep periods at school to write sketches for my digital content, I realized that maybe the balance of my focus was shifting, actually. Everything in my life was driving me toward pursuing comedy full-time. And through performing so frequently, I had developed the kind of bravery one needs to take a big leap of faith. So in 2016, I quit teaching and moved to Los Angeles to try my hand in Hollywood. Okay, I'm going to skip over the part of the story where for 3 years in LA I went broke and taught myself how to write TV pilots by Googling how to write a TV pilot. You don't need to know about my stomach ulcer or burning through my savings or selling beadwork to make my rent in LA or borrowing money from my parents in my mid-30s or that I was seriously considering starting a phone sex business with my friends to support my career transition. What's important here is that you know, throughout it all, I continued doing comedy, putting up shows, producing podcasts, and meeting other creatives in LA. Yes, I felt like a massive loser at the time, and I was severely anxious about my ability to remain in Los Angeles, trying to break into an industry that didn't seem to have any interest in stories about young, ambitious Native women living in this century. I look back on those days now, having accomplished many dreams, and I do remember the joy in my struggle. I do. Because struggle is joyful. Doing hard things requires courage, and it is the exercise of courage that helps us build self-confidence. When I sat where you are sitting now, 20 years ago, I couldn't wait to embark on a journey to a massive, bustling city. I romanticized the idea of scraping by and trying hard and falling on my face, but picking myself up again. And I'm glad I did, because struggle has indeed been a romantic dance that I've initiated with myself my entire adult life. When you leave here this week, when you say goodbye to Eugene, you'll have no idea what tools you've accumulated. In fact, if you're anything like I was 20 years ago, you're looking down at your disorganized academic toolbox, exhausted from the experiences you've had here. Senioritis is so bad you won't open another book for 3 years. I see you. You are walking out into terrain that isn't the same as it was 4 years ago. You've survived a pandemic that you've lost people to. And I don't have to tell you that the socio-political world you're entering into is cruel. When I was a sophomore duck, I was attending a seminar with my organizing colleagues at the Multicultural Center about racial profiling in policing. We drug a TV into the classroom mid-session and turned on the news because 2 planes had struck the World Trade Center. We watched it happen on live TV, and we knew shit was going down. Did you know that before 9/11 there was no TSA at the airports? You actually didn't go through security before getting onto an airplane. Isn't that wild? Anyway, one of my first speaking engagements was in 2003 when the US military invaded Iraq. And we marched on Eugene City Hall, and I spoke out against the war on behalf of Native student body at the U of O. It was rainy that day, and we laughed with each other as we marched up 6th Street, stopping traffic. It was fun. I traveled here this week from Los Angeles, where my own neighbors and community members are being stolen from their jobs, from their vacations, or from their schools by members of ICE. It's been a hard week, but I threw up a comedy show last Wednesday to raise money for immigrant legal defense funds. They'll need legal help. We all will in the days to come. Any law students graduating today? Shout out. Whew, you've never been more vital, honey. Many of our nation's cities currently teeter on the brink of martial law, creating a dynamic between our military and the citizens it's meant to protect forever changed. The intense overseas the intense conflict overseas, the seemingly unmanageable evolution of the surveillance state and artificial intelligence, the massive international political shift to the far right, climate change, science denial, disinformation, reproductive injustice. How do we survive this? We are in dark and profound times. The choices you make as adults will fundamentally shape how we all live in this next era. It's an insane amount of pressure. You almost have to laugh. If we don't laugh, then we would cry, which is what the few of us natives in comedy say about our very tragic history. Because of systemic erasure, until our recent arrival in mainstream film and television, Native people haven't really been seen as funny. We've been regarded as stuck in the past, relegated to leather and feathers, seen as the stoic prop for the white protagonist's evolution or conquest. We don't belong in sitcoms because we're tragic, we're beat down. But we are such a joyful people. There was so much laughter in my household and in my community growing up. Of course, there was oppression, there was struggle, plenty of adversity. I mean, for creator's sake, I was cast as a pilgrim, not an Indian, in my kindergarten's Thanksgiving pageant. Can you even? Indigenous people have endured a great many setbacks. We've endured war, genocide, displacement, family separation, starvation, pandemics, and ostracization. But when you look deeper into our lives, into our days, you will find an immense level of joy. Renowned Black feminist, poet, and author Audre Lorde wrote, "The sharing of joy, whether physical, emotional, psychic, or intellectual, forms a bridge between the sharers, which can be the basis for understanding much of what is not shared between them, and lessens the threat of their difference. Joy is our common language. Every being on this planet understands joy. I felt it in 2003 when NASU held our Mother's Day powwow and we ran out of fry bread dough to feed the dancers. So Annalea and I secretly mixed some tough last-minute dough behind the old longhouse. I felt it at the ICE Out of LA protest last week before the cops launched tear gas into a crowd of folks dancing to and singing with a local mariachi band. Joy is an essential part of resistance. It sustains us, it renews us, it gives us a common language. When the enemy sees our joy, they see our humanity, so they try to quell it, but they can't. It is the one thing they will never be able to take from us. What do we do with all this fear and this tragedy? With a world that feels like it's slipping between our fingers and floating out into a dark, unregulated digital void, we create joy. IRL joy. We remind each other of our common language, that we have more in common than our division. And that is your mission. That is my directive to you. You must protect and share your joy. Thank you, and go Ducks!
Thank you, Jana. And I know that her family is somewhere in 31. Where are you guys? They're not quite as loud as Jana, or joyful as Jana. Jana, can you join us up here real quick? It is Native tradition to make sure that you pay your honored guests, and that usually is done with lots of food, and then they usually get to pick out a blanket that they like. of yours. This is the custom-made University of Oregon home flight blanket, which features patterns of ducks returning home.
And now, for the moment you've been waiting years for, we will now begin the official process of conferring degrees. Please join. We will begin with doctoral degrees, then master's degrees, and then to our undergraduate degrees by school and college. Will all candidates for doctoral degrees please rise and remain standing? President Schultz, the qualified students for doctoral degrees are now presented to receive the appropriate degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and with the authority of the Board of Trustees of the University of Oregon, I am pleased to confer upon you, the members of this June 2025 graduating class, your respective doctoral degrees, which you have earned at the University of Oregon. You may now take your seats.
Will the candidates for master's degree please rise and remain standing? President Schultz, the qualified students for master's degrees are now presented to receive the appropriate degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and with the authority of the Board of Trustees of the University of Oregon, I am pleased to confer upon you, the members of this June 2025 graduating class, your respective master's degrees which you have earned at the University of Oregon. You may now be seated. What do I do now? I will now ask Provost Christopher Long to call each of the academic deans forward in turn to present bachelor's degree candidates from each academic division.
Thank you, President Schultz. As the Provost and Senior Vice President, it is my great honor to introduce our deans to recognize the hard work and dedication of our bachelor's degree recipients. We begin with Daphne Gallagher, Associate Dean of the Robert D. Clark Honors College.
Thank you. Will those graduates who are students of the Robert D. Clark Honors College, one of the top public honors colleges in the country, please rise and remain standing. It has been my great honor to watch you persevere, debate with one another and our faculty, grow as thinkers and human beings, and research and write brilliant and fascinating theses. You've learned how to interpret the world, and now you will lead efforts to change it. Congratulations.
Sabrina Madison Cannon, Phyllis and Andrew Berwick, Dean of the School of Music and Dance.
Sorry about that. Will the candidates with a bachelor's degree in the School of Music and Dance, one of the preeminent comprehensive music and dance programs in the Pacific Northwest, please rise and remain standing until the degrees have been conferred. President Schultz and Provost Long. He said, okay, there we go. Awesome. Okay, let's continue. President Schultz and Provost Long, it is my sincere honor to present the qualified students before you to receive the appropriate degrees. These soon-to-be graduates will help shape the culture of our educational programs, our performing arts institutions, and most importantly, our culture and communities.
Please be seated. Laura Lee McIntyre, Dean of the College of Education.
All right, College of Ed ducks, mic drop. Just kidding. Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees in the College of Education please rise and remain standing until the degrees have been conferred? College of Ed Ducks, you have committed yourself to serving others and to honoring that passion and commitment that brings you into one of the hardest professions. We need you, we need your service, we need your love for preparing the next generation of leaders and innovators. And on behalf of the over 180 preeminent research, instructional, and clinical faculty, I congratulate you, and I love you all. President Schultz and Provost Long, the qualified students before you are now presented to receive the appropriate degrees. Go COE Ducks.
You may be seated. Juan Carlos Molleda, Edwin L. Arts Dean of the School of Journalism and Communication.
¿Dónde está mi gente hermosa? Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Journalism and Communication please rise and remain standing until the degrees have been conferred? This year, I watched the extraordinary graduates of the SOJC accomplish impactful storytelling and reporting, research, campaigns, creative projects, and more, all while continuing to navigate the uncertainties of an evolving world. Graduates, I am in awe of your resilience, your skill, your creativity, and your perseverance. You have left nothing to stop you from reaching the finish line, and I am so proud of you. Congratulations. Felicitaciones. President Schultz and Provost Long, it is my privilege to present the qualified students before you to receive their degrees.
You may be seated. Adrian Parr Zaretsky, Dean of the College of Design.
The College of Design is where creativity is not a trait but a practice, where scholarship is not just study but the discipline of curiosity, and where community is not just where we belong but how we build a better world. Will the candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the College of Design please rise? And remain standing until the degrees have been conferred. President Schultz and Provost Long, the qualified students before you are now presented to receive the appropriate degrees. תודה רבה ולהתראות, חברים שלי.
You may be seated. Bruce Blonigan, Dean of the Lundquist College of Business.
All right, good morning. Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree from the Charles H. Lundquist College of Business please rise and remain standing until the degrees have been conferred? As graduates of one of the nation's top public business schools, ranked number 25 in the world in terms of entrepreneurship, sports business, sustainability, your perseverance, curiosity, and determination are destined to serve you well as you become the business leaders of tomorrow. We are incredibly proud of everything you've accomplished, and we want to see you go out there and live our college motto, better business, better world. On behalf of our entire faculty and staff, I would like to extend my congratulations to you on this remarkable achievement. President Schultz and Provost Long, the qualified students before you are now presented to receive the appropriate business degrees.
You may be seated. Chris Polson, Tyson, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences.
Good morning. Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees in the College of Arts and Sciences, one of the nation's leading public liberal arts colleges, please rise and remain standing until the degrees have been conferred. On behalf of the college's distinguished faculty and dedicated staff, I offer my heartfelt congratulations. Your achievements are remarkable, and we are proud to have been part of your academic journey. As you look to the future, may you continue to seek knowledge and truth, challenge assumptions, and use your talents to help create a world that is more just, more sustainable, and more compassionate. We are counting on your leadership. President Schultz and Provost Long, the qualified students before you are now presented to receive the appropriate degrees.
President Schultz, I would ask that all candidates for the baccalaureate degree at the University of Oregon please rise and remain standing. President Schultz, on the recommendation of the deans from the University of Oregon's undergraduate schools and colleges, it is my great joy to present to you for conferral of baccalaureate degrees the University of Oregon's class of 2025.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and with the authority of the Board of Trustees of the University of Oregon, I am pleased to confer upon you, the members of this June 2025 graduating class, the respective baccalaureate degrees that you have earned at the University of Oregon. You may now move your tassels from right to left.
In a moment, we will begin our celebratory traditions and graduate exit. Before we do, I have a few important instructions for graduates and guests. All graduates will need to exit the field out of the East Tunnel, where you can meet your family and friends on the east and the south side of the stadium. To graduates and guests, if you are heading back to campus for a school and college ceremony, we ask that you please leave your cars parked here at the stadium and utilize the shuttles that are waiting outside the east gate to take you to campus. I also ask that those with a 1 p.m. school and college ceremony on campus be given priority access to the shuttles where possible. If you have questions throughout the day, please feel free to text our helpful team at the number on the screen up until 5 p.m. Before we shout together, I have one last favor to ask. Join me in showing gratitude to your families and friends who are here with us today. Congratulations to our families and supporters, but most of all, congratulations to our graduates. Your degrees are well earned. Now, let's make this official and shout about it. Go Ducks!
I graduated, I majored in history, and I'm ready to be a teacher. I'm ready to go teach the next generation of students. and I'm ready to show them what history is all about.
What was the last 4 years like here?
Last 4 years was amazing. Well, it was 3 years for me, but it was a really good time. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work and studying, but also a lot of making new friends, a lot of spending time with my teammates on the climbing team here. But yeah, I just had a great time. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Hopefully high school history. They're the ones that need the most. They're the ones that aren't being taught the right things. So I want to teach them now. I'm from Denver, Colorado. Go Ducks! That's all I gotta say. And I love this university. I love Eugene. Oregon's great. No better place in the world than Eugene, Oregon. Yes, the history I learned here, a lot of Western history about indigenous people. I want to teach history right, not just from like white perspective, but from all perspectives, because that's what the U.S. is. We're just a lot of people, a lot of different people, a lot of different perspectives, and we all deserve our stories to be told. Of course. Yeah, thank you. Hey. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. What is this going to be on? If I can show. Okay, Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'll show my parents. Yeah, thank you.
Alright, I'm going to get your name real quick. Come on over this way. Right there. So give me your name and you can yell because it's loud. What's your name?
Natanya.
And spell both names. I'm a bad speller.
Natanyavillegas.
And then pronunciate each of your names.
Natanya Villegas.
Okay, and you're a senior, right? You just graduated. How does it feel?
Good.
Describe it. I mean, what was it like standing in line, listening? I mean, talk about the day today.
Best graduation ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want to do when you are now going to be career oriented?
Well, I'm doing a short postdoc, doing more research in the lab, getting a job.
What?
Biology.
What would you like to do? What about biology? How are you going to do that?
Well, I work to make new, I use molecular biology to study DNA. And I want to study cells and DNA now.
And with the degree that you have, you're going to do that.
Yeah.
What was it like to